Reddit by Reddit recap. Women of Reddit. What makes a man attractive? Intelligence and a sense of humor. I've been with guys who weren't likely too attractive to others, but their whip smart and goofy personalities made them completely irresistible to me. Being kind and funny. Cute at times. Nice hands. My hands are pretty mean actually. They like to hit other people's hands at random. I've tried putting them in my pockets, but the situation's really gotten out of hand. Personal sense of style is a huge turn on. Whatever that style may be, putting effort into your appearance and dressing in a self-expressive way is really attractive. It shows off the confidence to look how you want and shows a bit of care into how you're seen without betraying who you are. It being all you care about it is unattractive. You need, hobbies outside of looking good, but having a distinct style is really attractive. But probably even more than that, just being interested in things. Being really into a hobby, or being an artist yourself, it makes you interesting and fun to talk to. Seeing him do something that's his thing, something that he's really good at and became good at because he just loves doing it. Basically, being in flow state. Genuine kindness, not just to me but to everyone. It's so attractive. Yesterday my fiance asked a random guy outside a store if he needed a hand because he had boxes, a baby and a collapsed stroller. I love him. Have your shit together. I mean, have a fulfilling life of your own complete with job and hobbies and interests. Clean living space. Apartment or house, not your parents unless you are taking care of them or it is mutually beneficial. If you have decorated your space and your furniture matches, it's a huge plus for some reason for me. Be capable of conversation. Easygoing and realistic outlook on life in general. Goals and aspirations are nice. Be in touch with your inner nerdy child, but also be mature enough to know when it's appropriate. Respect me, but also smack my butt when I'm in the kitchen. When he wears clothes that fit his body type really well, it doesn't even matter what body type you have honestly. If your clothes fit you really nicely, then you're gonna look good. Aside from the completely obvious answers, does he seem like he'd mesh well with me? That guy who literally looks like an Abercrombie model might be attractive in some sense, but I'm not going to be very into it, because I just don't think we'll have a lot in common. Same for the guy whose entire Instagram is mountain climbing pics, or the guy who wants to open his own real estate firm, despite only having a year of experience in the industry, or the guy who works as an artist and lives in a one-room apartment. Those guys are probably all great in their own way, but I don't get the sense that they're going to mesh with my own predictable, suburban, white picket fence preferences. The guy who's most attractive to me is the one who looks and seems like he'd fit nicely into my lifestyle. A big heart that cares about people and things. Having strong relationships with family or friends is a good sign. Willing to help the people they care about is another. Obviously, toxic family is an issue that no one can control, but in that case making a family out of friends or community shows they know how to build relationships and have two-way communication. Being passionate about hobbies or issues shows a big heart. Being both interesting and interested, able to talk about those passions without being overbearing or alienating while caring enough to listen to what someone else is passionate about. In a similar vein, humor is great, but knowing how to read the room is better. Personally, I am attracted to people who act rather than just talk. If they complain or critique things but do nothing, that is a huge turn off for me. That is why I tell single folks to volunteer, whatever the mission is. Everyone there already shares something they are passionate about. Everyone there is action oriented and ready to do something rather than just talk about it. Everyone there is already part of a community and are more interested in giving than taking. Even if you don't find a soulmate, you will find friends and help your community. The lessons learned will be an asset when you do find them. A nice haircut. Speaking properly. No slangs, cuss words, etc. Dressing in clothes that fit properly. Good posture. Emotional intelligence. Knowing when to say things and how to phrase them in a way that is appropriate in that situation and being a good listener. Empathy. Compassion and kindness. Not being too proud to say sorry and being willing to accept that he can be wrong sometimes. Taking the initiative for things like helping out without asking. Being responsible and showing that he really wants to keep to his words. Maturity and stability in how he handles difficult situations and responds to things. Not running away from problems but finding ways to solve them. Thoughtfulness. Showing in little ways that he cares without expecting anything in return. Being respectful of people and not making lewd derogatory comments about people. Confidence without being arrogant and self-obsessed. Not a woman but one I hear a lot. Rolling up our sleeves. Pro tip. Women are extremely attractive when they do this too. So basically 50% of every sleeve is useless. It's not useless. One cannot roll up the sleeve if the sleeve does not exist. I think we need more hypotheticals. As in, college just started back up. I've got a few male friends. Who's the most attractive to you and why? And to answer that, it's the one who asks questions back and shows curiosity about my life. Also, flirting is not about being witty or impressing, but to show your interest. Nobody remembers that clever comment, but they will remember how you showed your interest. It also plays double duty of hitting the ball back to their court. Which is what a witty comment does, except in trying to come up with one it gives you brain paralysis and then you think you're never gonna be good enough and give up and start eating banana peels to feel something. Anything. What makes a man the most attractive, or any person really, is the ability to be on their own. To be able to cook, clean, and just in general take care of themselves. I dated a guy once and I tried to teach him to cook and some other stuff. This was a year after we both graduated high school. A big part of us breaking up was the fact that he couldn't take care of himself. I was like his mom and no matter what happened he always needed me to do something for him. You can be immature and childish and be able to take care of yourself. Good hygiene. Super funny. Has hobbies. Doesn't give a f what people think of him. And embraces weirdness and eccentricity. Responsibility and competence. There is nothing more attractive than a man who handles his personal business like a champ rather than wallowing in filth or expecting his girlfriend to manage all his shit for him. I DK about y'all but I like veiny forearms. Honestly you could be the ugliest mducker on this planet. If you have veiny hands I'll be all over you. And being passionate about his interests. So many guys apologize to me, friends or otherwise, for being a nerd about something they know a lot about, but it just makes me happy knowing there's something they care about. I'm before the fake when he makes me laugh nonsense. Woman like height, an athletic frame, teeth etc. Looks get you in the door, personality keeps you there. Genuine kindness is extremely attractive. You can believe all these comments but for me personally my whole life up until about 27 years old I was the guy every girl said they wished they could find a guy like me. Then I committed to getting lean. Like, too lean in most people's eyes. I looked skinny with a shirt on but I was ripped without one and I had a jawline. I also tanned like crazy. I've never received more attention from women in my life. I know it's bold to say, but I actually got tired of it. Getting laid was no longer a chore. Women just wanted to feel my abs. I like to think my friendly personality and my ability to make people laugh is what sealed the deal but I know my body at the time is what was getting me all that attention. I got addicted to cardio and developed an eating disorder under the assumption the leaner I got, the more attractive I'd be to women. And the sad thing is it was true. Looking back, I don't regret those years because despite the eating disorder, I was very healthy and the times I had with women were wild and I was lucky enough to fulfill a lot of fantasies I always had. The thing was that a lot of these girls would say the same things girls are saying here about what they liked in guys but from my experience, when it came to their sexual urges, they wanted someone who looked like an underwear model to dig their fingernails into. So that's what I became. It led to a lot of one night stands, and not necessarily in a bad way. I met a lot of really interesting and nice girls and the understanding of booty call was always mutual. I'm happily married now to a woman I am head over heels in love with. Truly my best friend. I'm not ripped anymore but I'm in good shape. Just no defined abs and no tan anymore. I just work out now to stay healthy and be active with my wife and friends. I still get flirted with by women sometime, but nothing like how it used to be, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I know this question was for women, but I thought it was only fair to point this out from my perspective. We all have two desires, the one we feel good about saying, and the white hot center that we usually don't say out loud to strangers. I found from my experience most women wanted the same thing most men wanted when it came to physical intimacy. Someone who's hot. It's shallow and weak, but it's primal and it's true. I don't regret that part of my life, but I am definitely glad it's over. Best comment of the day. No joke, I've dated around, and I was amazed at how many girls had nothing to bring to the table other than their personal hobbies. Many couldn't cook, had messy apps, had nothing interesting to converse about. But the firo I'm with now, I still do all the cooking and half the cleaning. She has the most ambition I've seen yet. I think it's the social media generation. Guys aren't as handy as they once were, but they should be. Too many live with their parents and the parents are permissive.